was further
45 minutes left in the opening round of the Michelin Pilot Challenge. We got a good battle for the lead in TCR. Mario leading, then Denis Dupont and Bryson Morris. Mario and the Pegram Honda. And then the two Brian Herta Autosport Hyundais of Denis Dupont and Bryson Morris is Thomas Merrill, the second place Aston Martin in Grand Sport GS. He will pit for a splash and go. And right side tires, it looks like.
This needs to be executed with perfection to get them back out. What will Rebel Lock do? Will they need to counter this in the next lap or two? Looks like it's right sides only that's going in the car.
The other Aston Martin that's leading the way, Rob Liddell. What will he do now since Thomas Merrill is in? Thomas is out after the fuel. And right side tires.
By the Circle H crew, down and away, down this pit lane.
Now, here's Mario with Dupont going to the outside, heading into turn one. Dupont can't get close enough. Bryson Morris still right there. The top three, line to stern.
Sunoco sign, and then the run around turn one to the inside and rejoining the racetrack.
That last bit almost feels like the longest part of the
Into the International Horseshoe.
It's so slow, but I think that was a really, really clever
Mario
move
leading, then Denis Dupont. Dupont with a little look to the inside, not close enough.
The head of the field, but for Circle H Racing, they came into a nigh-on empty pit lane. As we heard, they had a pit garage clear next to them, so they had a nice, smooth run in. And you can't be sure who's going to be in next time around. But if they do dive in,
into the kink, or into the West Horseshoe, Mario went a little defensive there. He held the inside line. Now they'll go to turn 6.
That is an interesting development, though. Liddell, now that he's not
Mario stays in the lead. Here's Rob Liddell off the speedway, turn 4. And he's going to pull down. He's going to pit. Rob Liddell will pit. Here we go. The Rebel Rock Aston Martin is in.
GS guys into the pit lane. Robin Liddell, he's been here so many times before. He knows what to do. Interestingly, he did manage to stretch the gap when there's no pressure. He's not needing to defend. He can take the proper
Luca's in as well as Robert Noaker.
The wheel guns in the background.
Rob Liddell changing the right front tire.
And a back left on. That's the way they want to do it. They're topping the car up with fuel.
They're changing the right front, the back left.
4 tire stop, in fact. They're not just doing 2.
Actually, no, it'll be a 4 tire stop. 4 tires. The Circle H, Aston Martin only put on 2 right side tires.
Down it comes off the jacks. Get every last little bit of fuel in, and that'll be a wait for the 71 race leader.
Robin Liddell is away.
At the Turner Motorsports crew,
here's the 95 Turner BMW. That's Luca.
Remember, we talked about this at the start.
As the TCR top 3 are single file across the start-finish line. Luca is away.
Fuel numbers. Ryan, I've heard conflicting reports up and down the paddock all weekend long. Some
this will give Leah Fuge the lead in that 19 Ford Mustang. The question is, who gets out in front of who? Out of the 2 Aston Martins, is it going to be Rob Liddell or Thomas Merrill?
It's very, very tight on
it looks like Robin for now, but we'll see where Thomas ends up.
Some think they may be good to the end. Some think they need a caution. Some expect to stop no matter what.
High drama indeed. Thank you very much to our video pit lane team.
Robin Liddell is out and away in the International Horseshoe. Where's Thomas Merrill?
Now we need to see how everybody merges back together now that we've gotten through this round of GS
That's not Thomas Merrill. That's the Windward 57.
Brought in one of their BMWs. Very wise, of course. Why have people right next door to each other? Okay, there was actually a bit of space in the pit lane. That was sensible. The one that was left out was Robbie Foley. Gregory
now Liddell
the race is forward by 1.3 seconds. They surely
in
will be
the International Horseshoe.
As if on cue, both the Ford and then the BMW.
Gregory should pit. Thomas Merrill got ahead by a big margin.
Their second car in.
Thomas Merrill's way ahead of Robin Liddell.
Also in.
Gregory and Robbie pit.
Well, they were third.
Matthias Lace in his Porsche takes the lead.
Arjuna, let's talk us through this pit stop here for the Turner bunch.
And one key difference, Ryan, that I always love about the Pilot Challenge compared to WeatherTech is 5 lug nuts as compared to the center lug nuts.
Tire changers have some extra work to do, and once again it is scrub tires going on to that number 96. A little bit further down from me, I can actually see that Stephen Cameron Racing Ford Mustang. They've got the right side door open. I'm not quite sure if there is a driver change going on, Ryan, but maybe you can tell a little bit better. In front of me, that Turner car packs in the fuel. They clearly need every...
Waiting on fuel on the 96 Turner BMW that's driven by Robbie. He's away.
It's a great stop from the blue and yellow 96.
Pit stops have been crucial for Turner. That's how they've been able to get track position in this race. It seems like every yellow flag pit
Turner's
stop
been really good in the pits, but Thomas
making
Merrill is going to blow
positions.
right by.
But now,
Merrill
watching
takes the lead
to see where
on
the
strategy
14
for now. There's
cycles
still
through.
some cars that have to
This is a
pit.
car that
Mateus
led,
Lace
or
being
actually
one,
the
Hugh
second
Plum
coming
another,
into this round of pit stops.
Bill Oberlin
We'll
also.
have a sense for how things cycle out. A few cars still at the front of the field. That O stops, really the top five all yet to pit at this stage by my reckoning.
Yeah, but again,
Thomas Merrill in sixth. The top five still have to pit.
Behind the Mustang of Stephen Cameron Racing.
Robin Liddell, the seventh.
There you go.
And Stephen McAleer, Robert
And
Noaker,
the
and Dan
14
Arrow.
For Circle H came out
That's the
ahead
rest of
Rebel
your
Rock
top
as
10.
well. So Thomas
They
Merrill,
all have
the
pitted.
de facto leader, but again, they had a shorter pit stop in theory because of only taking 2 tires. Now, it looked to me that
So
both
we'll
of
have
those
to
stops
see
were
how
more or
much
less
of a difference
dictated
the
by
tires
amount of
make.
fuel that needed to go
Thomas
in. It
Merrill
really
took
wasn't that they
2.
were waiting on the
Robin
tires, but
Liddell
whatever
took
the
4.
case, the 14 team,
That's
great
going to
work in the
determine,
pits. They jumped
or
to
one
the
of the
lead, and
determining
that car went
factors. I
spin
think
out
that's
in
going to be the
front.
main
It's
determining
been
factor
awfully quick.
on who will win
and I
this
also
race.
think, he who blinks second has an advantage. You're coming in a lap later. You're
Into the
putting in
box
next
goes
door,
Hugh
your pit stop is
Plum.
gonna be
He
shorter,
pits from
so
second in his
the
Mustang.
battle between the Aston Martins at the front of the field.
As Merrill goes through the Lamar chicane in TCR traffic.
By just coming in a lap later.
Goodman pits in his Toyota Supra.
To have the pace on everybody else. But what's happening? We've got a great big shadow, the shade cast by the giant grandstand here at Daytona International Speedway. Now covering the entirety of the pit lane. Track
Merrill
temperature
through
will be
3 and
starting
4
to
around the Hart Honda.
Day. Fabulous day here in Florida, but
Driven by
conditions will
Lawrence.
keep on changing. What also changes the clock. 38 minutes remain. Will we get to the end without on the yellow?
Now, battle for the lead. Denny Dupont is still all over the back of Mario. Bryson Morris is still there as well. Mario has still held the lead throughout all of this pit strategy in the GS class.
The top 2, by the way, have yet to pit. They pitted
And Thomas Merrill, the GS
minutes ago.
soon-to-be leader,
should cycle through
is right behind this 3 as Mario slipped up a little bit in the International Horseshoe. Denny Dupont looked a little lower, but he has to fall back in line.
The pit lane with Aurora Strauss.
I am. Aurora Strauss is standing next to me in the Morel racing car. Now, they've had a bit of a day, actually. Your husband, Kenny's...
Mark Wilkins is in the pits for Brian Herta.
This is a lovely honeymoon you're having, but it's not been a perfect
in
honeymoon.
7th place.
That's okay. No day in racing is perfect. There are very few, I will say. Yeah, we've had some power delivery issues. The AMG GT4 has been handling great outside of the power delivery issues. So we've gone straight to the front and then back to the back 3 times now. But out of everyone in the entire paddock, I'm not just saying this because he's my husband, there's no one I would rather have driving that car than Kenny. Whenever we're out there, he's matching the leader's time. So with a little bit of luck, we still have about 40 minutes to get him back up there.
We've got a little bit of a love-in going on here. I quite like that. He can't hear you, obviously. But what are the power delivery? What has it actually been that's been wrong with the car?
I can't say much, but we've had some issues mostly when it comes to low fuel. So both times during double yellow, we have issues where the car slows down significantly. Fuel cuts out on us. So it's been tricky, but I don't know. We've gotten the toughest battles in the first race of the season, and we're going to go up from here. And again, I meant what I said, that look, Kenny and I are both very competitive. We wouldn't drive together if we didn't think we weren't capable of winning together. So I'm glad that he's in the car. I think there's no better person to be dealing with it, and I still think that there's a top 10 to top 15 in the cards for us if we do everything right in the next 40 minutes.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Good to hear from Aurora Strauss. First car to blink from TCR. It's the 33.
Mateus Lace pits from the overall lead. That gives the 22 Porsche of Hill. He'll take the overall lead, but in TCR, Bryson Morris is the first of the top 3 to stop. And they're going to get tires and fuel, of course.
The fuel goes in. And this is the first of those front runners. We heard from Arjuna, Bruce, that they thought it was marginal. They're not going to take any chances.
I could talk a lot of the time about the rolling of the dice.
Now in the
How
West Horseshoe,
close can you take it
as
to the
Bryson
very,
Morris
very
leaves
front
his
of what you
box.
could possibly have in terms of
Mario
time,
still leading Denis Dupont.
capacity in your car. What's in the tank? What's left in the rubber?
Thomas
Right
Merrill
now, it's
went
looking
past
like an
the leading
extraordinary
TCR duo
race.
now, which was a trio when he got by in turns 3 and 4 of the big Daytona track.
A further problem, car number 99 with Filippo Barberi at the wheel, just been pinged, given a drive-through penalty for a pit lane speed violation. The sort of incident that just makes a team manager's toes curl in frustration.
And the 99 Cupra for Victor Gonzalez's race team in TCR gets yet another penalty. That's either the 4th or 5th penalty they've had today. They've had winning speed, but they just cannot stay
roughly of a normal Michelin Pilot Challenge
within the
race.
lines of the rulebook.
But after nearly 3.5 hours, it was like 34 minutes.
Now as we go through Speedway turns 3 and 4, Mario with a good 3-car length lead over Denis Dupont.
Set the tone, kept that car in contention.
Well, one of these two or both of these two pit as Bill Oberlin pits in GS from 2nd place. And Denis Dupont's going to pit. Denis Dupont will pit. Mario stays out. Here comes Robin. He'll fly by, trying to catch Thomas Merrill. The gap between them is about 7 seconds.
Not just how that affects their battle, the cars from TCR is who are they going to be in front of when they come out onto the track again after this, their final pit stop. Will they just pop out right in front of a lead battle? I tell you what, some great battling in over about 5th or 6th position. One of the Turner Motorsport BMW, Stephen McAleer, really pushing hard on Robert Noaker, tucked behind the sister car. Luca Mars has got the Mercedes of Dan Arrow, the Dutch racer, also as a playmate. Just over half an hour.
Dupont getting tires and gas.
Race, but it's far from done. But you're looking at the moment.
Looks like they're just getting front tires.
Running second behind the Shopify Racing Porsche, but that owes us a pit stop. So number 14 will be back into the lead.
Speaking of pit stops, let's recap.
There's Mario. Robin Liddell took 4 seconds off Thomas Merrill's lead. It's a 4-second gap. It was 7 the last time around.
They couldn't get the air lane off the back to release the jacks. This car sat there for a good 3 seconds of doing nothing before they could actually drop it to the ground and get going. That will hurt them on track.
Now waiting for the leader.
Now Mario in the middle of 1 and 2, heading toward the back straightaway in the Le Mans chicane.
The Hyundais didn't feel like they were getting the mileage, but what about the Honda? You would think it would be difficult considering
the 13 of Robert Noaker running 4th in GS. He gets by Mario.
Aerodynamic toe to help them out.
And the BMW of Stephen McAleer now in the back of Mario. 2 veterans.
Is feathering that throttle just enough? What do you think?
McAleer will go to the high side and pass him in Speedway turn 3.
Yeah, no,
neither of us are Nostradamus.
There have been so many moments in which a team has gone, okay, this is our strategy through to finish.
Mario blinking his front lights. I think that's indicating he will pit, and there he goes. He pulls down off the yellow line. Here comes Mario into the pits. Locks his tires up, big lockup. I think he got on. He did get into the pits, but he locked it up big time. He's going to need some new front tires for sure. Question is, was he speeding or did he get down into the speed limit before he got into the pits?
Final crucial stop. I dare say the most important stop in this team's relatively brief history. This would be a monumental result for the squad. They have not won a race before, but they have spent a considerable portion of this event out in front.
What a place. What a time if you're going to take your first victory. Talk about giving you a boost.
There's a little miscommunication. They need to jack the car up. They took a little bit. Now they're jacking it up. No tires are going to be taken.
Yeah, they unfortunately had some confusion about whether the air jack needed to go in, and eventually with the fuel put in, I think
no tires were taken from Mario.
Changing tires, and now that balance, Ryan, is going to be on a knife edge. We've talked about the front tires wearing off, the understeer settling in, and of course, after the risky pit entry,
Pegram Racing has never won a race before in their history.
Well, they might have wanted to change the tires after that lockup.
With this pit stop,
I suspect Mario is going to be dealing with some flat spots. He had them locked up for a good 25 to 50 feet.
Yeah, but he's probably told them before the pit stop on the way in, saying it's okay. I reckon I can nurse the tires.
With this pit stop,
that was the tires before
which was a really, really rough stretch.
remainder of this race. Just over
They
half
may
an hour to go.
not have the lead. We'll have to see.
James Vance pits in the 52. That was the last
Still
of the
showing
front-running
Mario's
TCR
out
cars
front,
that we were
but I
waiting
don't
for.
know where Denis Dupont
So
or
now we
Bryson
wait
Morris
to see
are on
who
track.
cycles through to the lead of the class. They were running nose to
I think
tail.
Bryson Morris is
72
behind
ahead
Mario.
of the 33. Here we go. Tire without crew is the penalty for the 72 car of Mario Farnbacher. It wasn't the speed, but it was a pit lane infraction. We said it was a big moment for a young team. Unfortunately, they were not able to rise to the occasion. Drive-through penalty.
And drive-through penalty for Mario Farnbacher and the 72 team. A pit lane infraction. Not him speeding, but it was something the pit crew did, I believe. It was the tire without crew. So I think leaving the tire, that miscommunication of thinking they were taking tires, then not taking tires, has done Mario Farnbacher and Pegram Racing in. They need a miracle now if they want to win this race.
Merrill ahead of Robin Liddell.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Trevor Hill last pitted 50-some minutes ago. So that is a car that will certainly have to come in. And for those of you watching on the video stream, we'll do our best to describe it to you listening on the audio stream. The penalty for the 72, they had a tire set out on the right front of the car, and there was no crew member standing by. That's a safety issue. That is the penalty. Drive-through brings them out of contention. What it does do, though, is promote potentially another Honda, the Hart team, onto the podium, depending on how long of a penalty this is. Cameron Lawrence is in the car, and Arjuna has caught up with one of his co-drivers.
And this is such an interesting team, Brian. Hart
So
stands
Bryson
for Honda
Morris
of
will be the
America
leader.
Racing Team. These are Honda
Then
employees
Denis
that go
Dupont.
racing for fun, and I'm here with Tyler Chambers, senior
Larry
engineer
Pegram, the normal
at Honda for the last
driver for that car, with
Tyler, you're no
her
stranger to
his
racing.
daughter,
First off, this
Riley
has been one of
Pegram.
the weirder races I think you've ever been a part of.
Larry trying to explain what happened. Mario in the car for him. And with the miscommunication,
noise in the front of the car.
the 72 will pit and hand the lead to Bryson Morris and Brian Herta Autosport. Or maybe Bryson Morris may take the lead himself.
Volunteers, you've operated as a driver, crew chief, mechanic at this crew. What's the camaraderie like when you get to come out here on a race weekend and do the fun stuff instead of the serious stuff?
Yeah, no, the camaraderie is great. We all love this. We're all nut jobs and we're in this together. But yeah, it's a great time.
And how many races can we hopefully see you this season across of the calendar we have?
Yeah, we're hoping for at least a half a season, but we'll see.
Hopefully we'll see you plenty. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
Awesome story.
39
Great
BMW
team.
for Carbon is out of their box.
Passion for motorsport, and in many ways harkens back to what.
And we're under half an hour to go on board with the 44 McLaren.
Racing, showroom stock style. It's a little bit different these days. This is far from a showroom stock car, these TCR cars, but you can still have fun with your buddies and race at a pretty high level. Plus, they bring a lot of expertise from the day job at Honda.
And you also have to remember that the TCR is a global category, so if you so chose, you could take it to other races at all points around the globe. So that is another feature. But HRT, great story across the years.
Mario still has not pitted. Bryson Morris is on his tail.
Program for
Can Morris get the lead on track?
Watch this race.
He doesn't have to, because he will get the lead when Mario pits, because he has to pit. He's got a penalty.
Mario Farnbacher has yet to serve that drive-through penalty. He's running out of time in order to do so. He's still
But Bryson Morris is hounding him into the International Horseshoe. Morris looks high. Mario defensive line. Good defense there by Mario. Maybe just trying to make Bryson Morris's life hell. But Morris gets to the inside heading toward the kink. It'll be the outside for the kink, but the inside through the West Horseshoe. Morris has to pull back. Mario defends the inside. Morris nearly gave Mario a bump. And slowly but surely, Denis Dupont is snaking his way into the picture. Dupont's in the background. Morris looks inside but pulls back.
As much as he can, but he has to listen to messages from the pits. He needs to come in and serve that penalty.
Now Bryson Morris to the inside, onto the banking. Turn one of the Daytona Big Track. A change for the lead could be happening. Mario on the outside, trying to pin down Bryson Morris as far as he can go.
To one another, a little bit of the old NASCAR side draft.
Mario with a side draft. Bryson Morris may respond with his own side draft. Side by side, heading to the Le Mans chicane. Big moment here. Late on the brakes, Morris sends it in and gets the lead.
Who had a little more grip, the guy without the flat spots on his tyres, and so Bryson Morris would have...
Mario to second. He's starting to fall a little bit back. Bryson Morris looks a little quicker.
For the lead in the TCR battle, and Honda has gone from first to second, and from second to first goes the Hyundai. But waiting to see if the Honda's going to tuck in car 72. Is he going to go right?
Dennis Dupont.
Serve that drive-through penalty.
Got a glimpse on our monitors a few minutes ago. Larry Pegram, Team Boss at Pegram Racing, for whom Mario Farnbacher drives, having some words with the pit lane official, but to no avail.
Here comes Mario with a draft. He stayed out, but he's going to break into turn one.
They are not going to serve it, at least not yet.
Bryson Morris with Mario right there, and Dennis Dupont is now a second and a half back. He's back in the mix.
But creeping up into the picture, slowly but
under
surely.
25 seconds, or 25 minutes to go.
Closing in.
Morris with the lead. Mario right there in second.
The last hour and a half.
Well, just official notification.
And then Dennis Dupont.
A message a while ago that the number 72 entry was being pushed back behind, not 72, I beg your pardon. It's car number 23, the Toyota Supra, was being pushed back behind the wall. Now official retirement. Jackson Bell will not continue through to the end of this race. Sad to hear.
Meanwhile, Thomas Merrill, as there's Larry Pegram again explaining himself to the officials.
Larry Pegram not catching any breath right now. He's having a word in the pit lane with the IMSA official, pleading his case as best as he can. But again, sand is slipping through the hourglass here in terms of time remaining.
It looks like Larry Pegram's pleas are not going to be heard. Mario will still have to pit, and meanwhile, he is really starting to fall back. Dennis Dupont is now on his tail.
And now, Dennis Dupont needs to make quick work of him, or else risk the chance of
Dupont looking to the inside. He'll pull back into Le Mans chicane as Bryson Morris is starting to slip away. Meanwhile, in the Aston Martin battle for the overall win, Thomas Merrill leads Robin Liddell by 4 seconds still. But Hill in the Porsche, the 22 Porsche, still leads by 8 seconds.
Just remember, that only had 2 tires.
But they will have to pit, I would assume.
But giving chase, Robin Liddell got 4.
Mario is still staying out.
3.5 seconds down, though.
They got the root of the problem for the Pegram Racing team. They had initially planned on doing a tire change. I think this goes back to what Arjuna pointed out in his video.
Dennis Dupont looking. Someone's gone way wide. Someone's gone way wide. It is Mario Farnbacher. He overshoots turn 1.
It is right front, and that surely is residual from the big lockup he had.
That's got to be from the big lockup. Mario Farnbacher goes straight on to the turn 1, and I think the right front tire is down. Yes, it is. Flat right front for Mario Farnbacher. It popped.
Trying to keep his Honda on the track. The handling must have been hideous, and then it went pop. No big surprise.
Painfully, it happens down into turn 1. The good news is there was lots of runoff, so no trouble there in terms of any risk of running into something solid. But
that got close.
He has to limp basically.
And now Mario Farnbacher is going to be
get that tire changed.
Step forward, everyone else. So up into second place in cars.
Moving chicane on track.
And then
he keeps the driver's left, hoping he will not get smoked in the back.
And that car is not that far back. It's only 1.2 seconds behind second place DuPont. So let's not count them out. Just heard from the team a few moments ago with Arjuna.
So Mario Farnbacher will not win this race. Pegram Racing's race goes up in smoke in the final half an hour. Bryson Morris to the lead. Dennis Dupont into second, a second back, and Cameron Lawrence is now in the fight. And maybe Mark Wilkins as well. He's 4 seconds back and forth.
Just inspired performances in the pits. Just remember how packed they were. It was performance out on the track. And just the way that... it's hard to split them. Circle H Racing, Rebel Rock, they look fantastic. They weren't at the front at the start of the race, but they worked their way forward. They showed patience.
Thomas Merrill in the 14 McLaren leads Robin Liddell by 3.3 seconds. Coming up to 20 minutes to go. Mario's going to pull off.
To me for a TCR1 in a few moments.
He just pulled off the track.
All right, let's check in with our pit reporters to get their nominations. We'll start with
And
Arjuna.
Well,
I think his day's
you know,
over.
I've been contemplating this. In GS, it's very much the pit stops that I think of being the determining factor. And so my Michelin moment for the race, well, it's a toss-up between Rebel Rock and Turner Motorsports for their great pit work.
Here's Robert
today.
Noaker,
I'll flip the
Luca,
coin
and
over
Dan
the
Arrow
Rebel Rock
battle for
because they're
fourth.
slightly higher up the
The
order.
McCumbee
But
Macular Mustang in fourth, then the Turner BMW and the Windward Mercedes. This is going to be a pretty good battle here. Arrow to the outside of Luca as they head into the International Horseshoe. A little bit of a tire bang, a slight tire bang. Side by side, Luca's got the inside. Now they'll go to the kink where the 57 will have the inside. That's Dan Arrow. Can he stay next to Luca, trying the side draft into the kink?
I mean, I could see you
Luca gets clear. It looks like no, Arrow's still on his quarter panel, as we're going to have a change for the lead. Thomas Merrill's caught the 22 Porsche, the Shopify Porsche to second with Hill behind the wheel.
So the tire set unattended for a few, you know, because the guy didn't get to it, and it's an unattended tire. So essentially it was our fault, but we had a problem there anyway. So, you know, great race. Mario did a great job. Riley did such a great job on her first stint. And, you know, can't say enough about the Honda guys and everybody doing a great job. But, you know, we had a little bad luck right there at the end.
Larry, thank you very much for your time. I'm just going to see if we're going to have a very quick word with Riley, who's standing right here. Riley, what a fabulous stint that was. A really unfortunate day for you in this camp.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's racing. So, you know, we'll be back at Sebring and won't let this affect me.
You've been around this long enough. You'll brush that off and move on, guys.
Stephen Mackler gets around Dan Arrow.
For your Michelin moment of the race.
Luca to fifth. Robert Noaker's gotten away. Dan Arrow looking to the outside in the middle, 3 and 4.
Pit stop set.
Mackler made the pass to Le Mans chicane. Can Arrow respond?
When he took Andrew Davies in the car, that was
And now the 22 Porsches in the
That's
pits.
going to be the one nomination from me.
Dan Arrow tried to pull in line behind Luca, and Stephen Mackler took advantage in the braking zone. He dove straight to the inside the Windward Mercedes. Oh, Mackler almost ran to the back of his BMW teammate Luca. He's on the high side. Dan Arrow may get his nose underneath.
I have to agree with that one.
He's not.
For once, bang on the money with that one.
And now in TCR, in the West Horseshoe, Bryson Morris is getting challenged by Denis Dupont. And don't look now.
Has taken the lead. He took it on track.
Or that's the lap car. Dupont to the high side of Morris. Stephen Mackler ran wide. Dan Arrow gets by him.
Liddell second, 1 second behind. Noaker runs in
Onto the banking. Morris defending the bottom line, running right by the double yellow line.
Together once again, Bryson Morris's lead, and it
Denny Dupont right there in second.
rather comfortable. That has totally dissipated, Bruce. And here comes Denny Dupont trying to make it back to back.
Down the back stretch to the Le Mans chicane. Dupont won last year. He's going to try and do it again.
What I love about these two,
Dupont looks inside. Now goes to the outside. Le Mans chicane. Morris a little bit of a slot of the rear tires. Dupont all over him.
And I think of the pair, I mean, Denis Dupont seems to have had more of the racing, but Bryson Morris is in front at the moment. Can I just chip back for a tiny second?
Meanwhile, in GS, Thomas leads Robin by 1.1 seconds. The Aston Martins will have a battle, it looks like, very soon. Coming up to 17 minutes remaining.
29.
Yeah, amazing performance from them. We'll keep tabs.
Dupont in the draft of Morris into the tri-oval. Denny Dupont goes high. Now looks low, goes high again, into turn 1. They're both on the brakes. Dupont going to try and go around the outside.
I'm going to go for that number 30.
Can he cross underneath? He might, he will not.
The way that they performed on the restarts, particularly there with Joshua Buchan, really making it work and getting that track.
And meanwhile, in the battle for the overall lead, Robin Liddell took the lead on Thomas Merrill.
GS as well.
We've had a change of
That's right behind the TCR leaders. Liddell has passed Merrill. The Aston Martins were side by side in turn 1, and Robin Liddell made the pass.
Taken Rebel Rock to the lead of the race here in Daytona.
So these two battles are right by each other on track. They're both in the West Horseshoe right now.
Remarkable stuff. These Aston Martins.
This is going to get hairy.
More in the heat today, haven't they?
This may get ugly. This may determine the race right here.
These two Aston Martins.
Cameron Lawrence in third for TCR is just behind the two leaders in GS.
The first full
There's a
kill
lap
up with
TCR car that Robin
firing
Liddell is going to pull behind and get a little toe of and go around him on the outside of turns 1 and 2 of the big Daytona track. Dupont has really fell back to Morris. It's a gap of 5 tenths. 5 tenths. 5 car lengths, as now Liddell is going to go to the outside of Dupont. And Thomas Merrill in turn 1 ran a little bit wide. Robin Liddell got to his inside and made the pass through the little S's in between turns 2 and 3 before the International Horseshoe.
What you have to remember is that decision would have been taken on the run through the course of the race, as they had to constantly change
Now,
their strategy. Did Circle H Racing...
Liddell has really gapped Merrill. 4 tires did work better than 2. They've gotten around the TCR leaders.
Minutes from now, how much will this gap open up?
This will give Bryson Morris maybe a little bit of a toe. However, Dupont is closing. Dupont is closing.
But just to have that extra knowledge that
Liddell trying to break the draft on Merrill.
there's also that mental advantage.
DuPont's closing.
Tire advantage.
He looks to the outside.
But that was
He's going to stay behind him, it looks like. Maybe get to his inside. He might. He got a nose peeked out. Morris defends beautifully. Half a second the gap between Liddell and Merrill. But DuPont looks to try and cross over on Morris. He can't. He looks to the outside. He can't get by him.
Fantastic effort from Rebel Rock. What a win it would be.
And this is bringing the Hart Hyundai of Cameron Lawrence into the fight. It's under 3 seconds back to him.
It looks like
DuPont looks inside and outside, trying to get a nose
Brian Herta Autosport
to the side of Bryson Morris.
on this battle, but Arjuna's got an update for us. Quite a debut
Liddell,
championship for
and then Merrill.
Isn't it, Arjuna?
Yes, but for David Hampton and Thomas
Then
Merrill,
Morris and DuPont.
familiar with each other from 2025, and David and myself were just talking about if there is still a chance for Thomas to try and push the case here in the closing
4
stages.
car lengths, the gap between Morris and DuPont.
He's my best driver. I mean, the guy's incredible. So he's managing the tires really well.
Liddell and Merrill just ahead. DuPont looks to the inside. He's going to try and get more draft. He'll pull behind in the Le Mans chicane.
What's now this sort of momentum kicking you forward for the rest of the season? Because I can see the smile on your face. This must invigorate you.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. This car is absolutely amazing. It's so manageable. So
DuPont
really loving it. The guys love it. Fantastic.
falling a little bit behind right now to Bryson Morris. Morris did gain a little bit this lap. Gap down to 6 car lengths. Thomas Merrill, we'll see if he gained on Robin Liddell. He did not. The gap's up to a second almost.
Plenty of it over the chasing Denis Dupont. Cameron Lawrence, not totally out of the conversation.
Cameron Lawrence is 2.5 seconds back. Lock up there from Bryson Morris. He keeps it pointed in the right direction. But Denis Dupont is still right there
Wilkins, the veteran behind the wheel, leading in 5th
on his back.
running of the Audi.
Looking high is DuPont. He's got a nose out there. Remember, these two are teammates for Brian Herta. Morris slides up. DuPont tries to cross over. He still can't get next to him.
But here in the infield, that's where Denis Dupont starts to flash some of that experience and some of the speed. He's closed the gap down.
Denis Dupont right there with Bryson Morris. DuPont looks to the inside, now goes outside in the West Horseshoe.
Different paint schemes, of course. There's the Hyundai Motorsport kind of corporate colors in the number.
The
76,
Honda of
and
Cameron
DuPont,
Lawrence
and
is
the
right
Hyundai
in the
Race
background.
Sport,
He will play a role in this.
prints all over the number 33.
Morris doing all he can to hold off his older and more experienced teammate, Denis Dupont.
Momentum, not compromising yourself. They come onto the high banks now, under 12 minutes to go.
Right, I just want to go to those numbers because the hands on the clock appear to be moving faster and faster. But having taken the lead, Robin Liddell is only just eking out a margin over.
Now Denis Dupont's got a big run off of turn 2. Down the back straightaway. Morris defends the inside line. Dupont looks to go below the yellow line. He'll go to the outside. Side by side almost into the Le Mans chicane. That was Denis Dupont's best chance yet so far in this battle to get the lead.
Absolutely inspired, or perhaps slightly crazed overtaking maneuvers coming up to
11 minutes to go. Not many laps remaining in this race, probably about 5 or 6.
In the hands of Robin Liddell. But I must say, I really admire
Denis Dupont, big draft through 3 and 4. Here he goes. He's going to have a big run heading into the tri-oval. He's right in the back of Bryson Morris. Does he look to the outside? He's staying right behind him.
Circle H, they were 20
Heading toward turn 1.
the first lap.
Morris and Dupont on the brakes.
To get to the front
Dupont
of
looks a little high. Morris defends. I am shocked Denis Dupont did not pull to the outside right there.
Would have picked them as the favorites, and yet here they
Robin Liddell is starting to run away. He leads Merrill by 1.4 seconds now.
Trying to bring Honda into that picture as well.
But you know, the thing that got me was that...
So the battle is on for TCR, and the battle looks to be shutting off for GS. Bryson Morris is now a little bit faster right now than Denis Dupont. He's got a little bit of a gap.
For the lead of this race, so a slow burn perhaps, but to me, that was an intriguing element after qualifying.
Definitely brought their best stuff on race day.
Morris,
sure.
then Dupont.
With
Cameron Lawrence right there as well in the background.
Last year to get their first win at Daytona.
Heading back onto the banking.
They got that win.
10 minutes to go.
And taking that momentum on. So yeah, they earned my nomination anyway for
Morris,
moment of the race.
Dupont,
winning that BMW Endurance Challenge trophy much more so.
Through 1 and 2 on the bottom line.
You've been enjoying this for the last couple hours?
Yeah, how come Peter and
It's been a pretty big gap.
with about 4 laps of racing and you've had the barn burning 2 hours? That's what I want to know.
Rookie luck.
Must be. My Michelin moment of the race in GS, it's Robin Liddell taking 4 tyres and using 4 tyres and using 4 Michelin tyres for the moment of the race to take the lead. You called it perfectly well. They stopped for a bit
As the
longer,
sun begins to set
well,
here
but it has paid dividends
at Daytona,
there's no
Denis
stopping
Dupont
this.
knows time is running out to try and get Bryson Morris.
But also,
Here he is in the draft, closing inch by inch. Dupont pulls to the outside.
In TCR,
Doesn't have enough of a run. Trying to get some more draft. Dupont can't quite get to Morris. He needs more draft. Heading toward turn 1. Dupont's going to look high. They both get on the brakes. Bryson Morris a little sideways entering turn 1. He keeps it on the racing line. Dupont staying right there with him. Denny cannot find a way around Bryson. And also, the GS battle from 3rd to about 7th is closing in on the 3 leaders of TCR.
Not necessarily knowing the track. I think it's definitely in the conversation.
Those are good nominations, to say the least. John Hindhaugh weighing in. We'll announce the winners of the Michelin moment of the race at the conclusion of this BMW M Endurance Challenge. 4 hours in duration when it started. We're down
Bryson
to
Morris leads Denis
minutes
Dupont.
here at Daytona International Speedway, the world center of racing. Robin Liddell.
Cameron Lawrence 2 seconds back, but in the picture. In striking distance if the top 2 somehow come to blows. Thomas Merrill has gained a little bit on Robin Liddell. It's 1.3 seconds.
The mood down here in Rebel Rock is calm. That's how I have to say it. It's very calm. There's nobody looking too excited. And Frankie Pugh, you come out the car, you look very calm. You had a very good solid stint. You know, I spoke with Robin. He says he gave you a bit of an idea of what you need
And
to
now,
do. And
Robert Noaker in 3rd. He gets by Cameron Lawrence in a Le Mans chicane.
always great.
Noaker trying to get on the final spot on the podium. Dan Arrow and Windward in 4th trying to take that away. He'll go to the outside of Cameron Lawrence with a little bit of draft. Arrow gets by. Luca in his Turner BMW. He's going to fly by. Where's Stephen McAleer?
Took 2 to try to jump us. So maybe it's not too many turns when you're leaning on the left side. Really.
Stephen McAleer gets by.
But hopefully it works out for us.
Cameron Lawrence, as Denis Dupont looks to the outside, he's got a close enough gap on Bryson Morris, who's heading towards Noaker. Morris with Dupont's bumper. I think there was a big hit. Dupont had a chance if Noaker wasn't on the outside of the 2 in the tri-oval. Now Dan Arrow looks to the outside. Denis Dupont and Arrow side by side. This is hurting Dan Arrow's chance of the podium and Denis Dupont's chance of the win. Arrow's boxed in between Morris and Dupont. Arrow gets to the inside through the kink of Morris. Luca trying to get around Dupont. He does. Stephen McAleer's here as well as Matthias Lace. They're all trying to get around. This is bringing Cameron Lawrence into the race now. Cameron Lawrence will have a chance at this. Luca goes to the inside of Bryson Morris. That's huge because Denis Dupont's on the inside right behind them.
Liddell's doing a fantastic job, but the big problem.
But Denny Dupont can't get to the inside because Stephen McAleer gets underneath him, as well as Matthias Leist.
One car he could possibly use to gain an advantage when they come up on traffic.
Denny Dupont ended up the big loser. McAleer's going to get by Morris. Here comes Matthias Leist to get by. But Bryson Morris, through that whole exchange, has a healthy lead with 5.5 laps remaining, and Cameron Lawrence is firmly in the fight now. We got a 3-car race for the win.
Is probably going to be passed down into turn 1, but it's been a really good lap from Robin Liddell. He stretched that margin. It was 1.3 seconds the last time around. The gap surely has gone out.
Robin Liddell may have just put it away. Big lap from him. It's a 2-second lead to Thomas Merrill now.
Bryson Morris and Denis Dupont still locked.
Now Bryson Morris off of turn 4. Denis Dupont trying to get in his draft. Morris trying to break it. Looking in the mirror. Weaving left and right. There's a Mustang that's going to fly by. I believe that's Gregory. And yes, it is. Ooh, Bryson Morris a little bit sideways. Denis Dupont's now right on his bumper. Dupont's going to look to the high side. Gregory gets by. Morris stays in front. Dupont cannot quite get next to him. Here's Cameron Lawrence in his Honda. He's here. It's a 3-car race for the win.
To join you, but just to point out, I looked at the wrong screen that second. Is Rebel Rock Racing. Robin Liddell gained 0.7 of a second. That surely 2 seconds on the nose now clear. That is the advantage, the breathing space he needs surely to take victory for Rebel Rock Racing.
Into the West Horseshoe, Cameron Lawrence, aggressive move to the outside for second. He'll have to stay behind Dupont.
Cameron Lawrence picked up a Rolex watch here in the big race in the 24-hour. He knows how to get it done when the
Sheamus
curtain's about
hangs
to fall.
on. Dupont right there with him. Then Cameron Lawrence.
To beat the two Hyundais as well. I tell you what, just the sheer body
now
language
onto the banking through turn 1 of the speedway.
Like I'm ready for a punch.
Morris with the lead. Then Dupont.
Well, what I like is when John
then Lawrence.
The commentary booth, he nicked my TCR moments of the race, but
I believe there's going to be 3 laps to go. Denis Dupont's closer. He's closer. He's in the draft. Cameron Lawrence is going high. They're into the braking zone. Dupont's waiting. Morris jumps a little wide. Dupont may have a chance, but he stays in line.
Gap between first and third in class, about 0.6 of a second.
It will be white flag next time by for the GS leader, Robin Liddell.
I'm not sure what Denis Dupont's thinking on how to take the win away. Cameron Lawrence is there as well. Denis Dupont, right on the back bumper of Morris. Now he looks to the outside. He peeks. He waits. He tries to go to the inside. Cameron Lawrence to the outside is going to compromise things. Dupont tries to go to the outside. Lawrence inside. Morris stays in the lead through that whole exchange as we've reached the final lap for the GS cars. Morris goes high. Dupont tries to cut under. Denis Dupont is under his inside. Denis Dupont is there. Side by side with Bryson Morris. Into the kink. Dupont with a big run. Side by side. Morris walls him off. Dupont looks to the inside. West Horseshoe. Side by side between the Hurdle Autosport. Hyundais. Denis Dupont gets the lead. He puts Morris on the grass. Cam Lawrence looking for second. Cameron Lawrence side by side with Morris for second. The Honda. Can he get there? He's going to be on the outside. I don't think he's going to get it. They're side by side and Denis Dupont scooting away.
Lawrence side by side.
Cameron Lawrence is pulling back. There's 2 laps to go. There's a Porsche that's going to fly by. That's the JDC Porsche. It gets by as Lawrence and Morris are still side by side for second. The white flag is out for Robin Liddell.
They want to go when they reach the stripe. Robin Liddell
side by side into the Le Mans chicane. Cameron Lawrence on the outside gets second. Now, can he get to Denis Dupont? Or was that pass enough for Dupont to win?
Yeah, that surely must be job done for Denis Dupont. But the gap between first and second, 2.471 seconds, stretching all the time.
Robbie in the 96 Turner BMW. He's going to fly by second and third here in TCR. Denis Dupont's going to see the white flag. He's got a big lead now over Cameron Lawrence, who's going to try and get in the draft of Robbie Foley. It's a 7/10 gap into the final lap. Turn one. Dupont with Robbie, then Lawrence, then Morris.
To the race leader, Denis Dupont.
Where does Robbie pass Denis Dupont?
Brown won 2 of the first 3 races last year.
Robin Liddell is going to win this race in GS. Meanwhile, Morris looks to the high side of Lawrence to no avail. Now heading toward the kink. Robbie's going to go to the outside. He's going to pass.
7/10 of a second. And the best news of all,
or no, he stays behind Denis Dupont, but the fight for second's still on. Morris to the inside of Cameron Lawrence. Lawrence keeps it off the West Horseshoe. Now, Robbie looking into the turn 6. Morris goes to the inside of Lawrence again. No go. Robbie's still stuck behind Denis Dupont.
He could well do that move into the Western Horseshoe.
And Robbie's going to get on the high side of the banking, probably, and get right by Denis Dupont, and that he will.
Between him and the end of the opening round on the 20.
I don't know if Cameron Lawrence has enough.
4 hours of racing. It's been firecracker. It's been brilliant. Aston Martin 1-2.
Robin Liddell wins in GS here at Daytona for Rebel Rock and Aston Martin. Robin Liddell, Frank Depew, Andrew Davis, they win it at Daytona for the first time in a long time. They didn't win last year. They win this year. Now, Denis Dupont trying to win the season opener for Brian Herta.
Now, the TCR battle still.
Cameron Lawrence, where is he? He's not even in the picture. There he is. He's not gaining enough. He is not gaining enough. Off of turn 4. Case is closed. Denis Dupont's going to start the year for Brian Herta on the top step of the podium. Denis Dupont wins it with Preston Brown for Brian Herta Autosport and Hyundai.
And that was super tight at the end because Denis Dupont really had to fight. He had that little gap, and in the end, the margin 9/10.
Let's get some post-race reaction from the Rebel Rock pit.
Well, here we go. Congratulations. What a way to start 2026, Andrew Davies. Congratulations. The cheer said it all from you guys.
It means a lot. Obviously, this is just coming off. It's kind of a one-off race, and winning, this is what we talked about trying to do. It's actually my first win overall here at Daytona after all these years, and I just can't thank the Rebel Rock crew. Aston Martin gave us the best car out there, but the pit stops and the strategy by these guys is second to none over and over again all the time. Frank did a great job on his opening stint. I did what I could, and then Robin Liddell out there doing Robin Liddell things at the end.
That was a huge call to take 4 tires.
It sure was. It's a team effort, absolutely, and it makes it so sweet. These guys are awesome.
Frank, I can see the smile that says it all. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I can't. I have to echo what Andrew said. Their crew is amazing all the way through. I mean, everybody executes. We make few mistakes. I mean, most of the mistakes are made on the track, courtesy of me a couple of times. But anyway, everything was clean today. We ran a great race and came out on top. And we've had bad luck at Daytona for a long time. So nice to win it.
Are you guys ready to go to victory lane?
Yeah, let's go.
I think we are. Brilliant. Well done.
Duncan Vincent with that BDO pit lane report. Time to hand out our Michelin Moment of the Race awards. I don't think there's any question in GS. Surely it's the Rebel Rock decision to go with the 4 tires.
That's it from Daytona. Rebel Rock, Aston Martin. Robin Liddell drives that to victory lane. And then Denis Dupont, the second to last lap, passes Brian Herta Autosport teammate in the Hyundai, Bryson Morris, for the win. Denis Dupont, Robin Liddell, winners at Daytona. Thank y'all for watching. See y'all later. RBL. Peace.